Why are there always bees outside this window or wasps outside this window whenever I'm filming? Go away. You don't have a nest there. We've removed it. Hi, I'm Sam, and welcome back to It's All Just Semantics. So today we're going to be doing another one of these videos where I sit here and talk at you. I've zoomed in a little bit and I'm not sure how I feel about it. We're still playing with the camera, not gonna lie. I'm still figuring this out. But also I didn't want to show off my desk too much because it's very messy right now because school is kind of kicking my butt a little bit. Trying to keep up with everything is actually what's kicking my butt, I'm not gonna lie. But what I wanted to talk about was a combination of things. So we are going to start with September wrap-up and just like kind of going through some of the things I did in September and how I feel and how it went. But then we're going to get into Preptober, which I know is what everybody actually clicked on this video for. So just be patient, we will get there. It won't take me too long, I promise. But yes. So, September. Now, September was a pretty good month overall, honestly. I got quite a bit done, especially when it comes to writing. And I also managed to get, like, a solid amount of writing in on different projects, which I didn't really expect. I was hoping to do, but I wasn't expecting to actually get a lot done on those projects. But my number one goal was to finish the book that I am currently writing, the one in my romance project, because I'm going to be starting a new one in November. I did not finish it. On the plus side, I am currently up to almost 120k words. I did get rid of a whole bunch of chapters that I had already rewritten, but I keep everything that all my old stuff, it's a whole thing. But I am doing, there's a lot of words and there's going to be a lot of editing, and I know that in advance, but I'm pretty happy with where I'm at. I do think I can probably finish this by the end of this month. There's a lot of action scenes kind of at the end, a lot of high tension stuff, so I love writing that and I'm very excited for it. Now what I did also want to do in September was come up with a better way to keep track of my word count and my progress in my books. And what I have kind of come to the conclusion is for the first draft and any rewrites I do, word count is going to be a thing that I'm going to keep track of. But the other thing that I want to keep track of is how many chapters I make it through in a day, especially when it comes to editing and rewriting. Is how long does it take for me to rewrite certain chapters? Is this something that takes me a day? Is it something that takes me a week? What's generally, how long does it take? And each chapter is a different length, so that isn't very helpful overall, but as of right now, I think it's working. I am still keeping track of number of words per day, mostly also to see where I'm writing and what I'm writing in most of all. So that's kind of fun. I also wanted to outline a short story. I didn't outline a short story. I came up with like 3 more ideas for short stories, so I don't know if that counts, but I didn't outline a short story. Sorry. I also wrote down I wanted to write 2 full chapters of my fantasy co-authoring book. I did not do this. However, I did write over 4,000 words for this co-author fantasy book. Mostly because we came up with a big twist. We're going to be changing several things for our rewrite of this story. And now because of that, I have to relearn some of the characters. So I'm doing the tried and true method for me, which is I write a bunch of scenes with these characters and see how they interact and see what happens. And for me, that's the best way of figuring out that character's voice, because now instead of 4 main points of view, we do have 5. Actually, I think we're going to end up having like 6 or 7, just so that way we have all of our main characters covered. We'll see if that works out or not. It is a lot of characters, so we're going to see what we end up doing. There are 2 main focus characters, so we'll see what ends up happening. But I would say that I did actually make progress in the co-author fantasy book, and I am very excited to continue writing that, I'm not going to lie. It's taken a turn that I didn't anticipate, but I'm really happy with it, so I think it'll be a lot of fun. And next was to start looking into contests and writing contests and such. I think right now that's not exactly feasible for me just because of everything that I'm doing with school, with work, with YouTube, with writing. There's a lot going on in my life, and so I'm not going to look into it right now. I think that's going to be something that I'm more going to look into when I'm not actively in a semester of school, where I'll have a little bit more time during the week and during the day just to concentrate on writing and working on short stories and those kinds of entries, because I do think that would be a lot of fun. Now, as far as non-writery goals, I had the goal of reading 8 books. I did not. I believe I read 5, which still isn't bad considering I was in school full-time. I did read 5 books. I'm okay with that. And then I wanted to keep my space clean. I have been doing pretty good at that, I'm not gonna lie. This week has been tough. I had a mental breakdown this week, so I'm calling it a wash on this week. A lot of things have happened, so nope. Or on Sunday I technically had a mental breakdown. And Sunday's usually the day where I reorganize my desk and I reorganize everything, so things have not gotten cleaned because my brain said no. C'est la vie, it happens. But those were my September goals. I don't know why I threw it, but I did. Now, let's move on to October. Alright, so for the month of October, I plan on doing Preptober, and I will get into that shortly. The main goal that I have, though, for writing for October is to finish this Discovery Zero draft of my romance book. And once I do that, I can hop right into Preptober, and I am actually kind of starting Preptober now as it is. I may do another video if you guys are at all interested in me doing a full video on what I'm doing for Preptober. I may do that next week just because I can. But basically what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be outlining and kind of generalized plot of the book that I will be writing, which is another installment in my romance series. It is technically the first book in the series. I finally have enough in my head about these characters. I can write it, and I'm very excited to do so. This will be a little different for me. I haven't worked on another romance book before, so I'm very excited to see what happens. I'm very excited to kind of develop my characters a bit more. These characters I have developed in the current book I'm working on. I have developed these characters for the most part in the book that I'm working on, but I haven't concentrated on them because they are not the main characters of this book. I've just kind of vaguely developed them into who they need to be for my other characters. But I have had luck in developing the siblings' relationships, so I'm very excited to show how it got there a little bit. And one of the characters I have been writing in this book, she makes her first appearance in the first one. I'm really excited to introduce her as, like, when they first meet her, because it's going to be so much fun. It's going to be so dramatic, and I am so excited for this. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm so excited to write this. It's going to be great, so yes. If you want more on that, let me know. I am down for getting into it. Another general goal for writing is I would like to get another 5K words in for the co-author fantasy book. Like I said, I'm still discovery writing a lot of the characters again as we're reworking the plot as well. We're adding in a lot more elements because we have changed our fantasy book from YA to adult, and that changes a lot of concepts and a lot of the way that we're going to be presenting this story is that we're able to include a lot more details, a lot more world building. And it's not that you can't do world building in YA, but you do have to, it is usually a little bit lighter of world building, a little bit less dark, I guess. I'm not sure how to explain it. It doesn't really make sense. How the words that I'm saying aren't working, but we have also aged up our characters, so they are all adults. And I think that it's going to honestly reflect in the story a lot more, and I think it's going to work a lot better as well. In total for this month, I would like to write 50,000 words again. I don't want to just base my writing off of number of words that I'm writing, but I do also want to get into the habit of writing every day. Make this into something that is a habit for me, because this is something I feel better when I have written throughout the day. If I, like, For instance, yesterday I wrote for approximately 2.5, 3 hours and I got 5,000 words in. I feel really good after a day like that. Even if I end up deleting 3,000 of those words later, I still feel really good because it means that I had ideas and I had a way to write them out and it worked out. So I still do want to try and force myself to keep writing, even if I have writer's block, write in a different project. That's how I work. I know that's not how it works for everybody, but for me, that's what works, and I'm very excited. So those, I guess, are 2 goals, is 50K by the end of the month, but also writing every day to keep up the habit. Obviously, if there's something that is preventing me, like if we are out of town for 2 days and I don't have a laptop, I have an iPad. But that's the closest I have, and my iPad's kind of dying, so, and I'm not buying a new one. I don't need an iPad. Maybe eventually I'll get a Chromebook or something. But for now, I have my computer, I have my phone, that's what I use. So yes, eventually I will get a laptop because it will be nice to be able to go to like coffee shops and write there, but as of right now, it's not really an option, unfortunately. So moving on to non-writery goals. I do want to try and hit that 8-book goal again for reading. I'm expecting about 5 to 8 books that I'm going to get read this month. 6 would be great, even that. But what I also want to try and do is I want to try and plan out, I'm doing a whole reorganization of this office now that we've moved in and we've been here for a couple months. I know kind of what I need in this office in order to make it functional for me. And I need to fix it. So it's bothering me and it's something that I know I can do. And one big thing that I would really like to start doing in this house is that we have a lot of white walls. I would like to paint some murals. And John's okay with this, and I'm so excited. I have a couple ideas, one for the spare bedroom, which is downstairs, one possibly for in here, which would just be kind of like a variant of colors. And then I would also like to add one in the office. This is a long-term goal. This isn't just next month, but I would like to start planning that out. And then kind of keeping up with trying to keep this space clean because we are still figuring everything out. We've gotten most of everything moved in. There's a couple things that are still hanging out in the garage that we don't have spots for yet that I need to find. So that's a thing. But then the only other thing that is really a goal that I really just want to upkeep, and that's to get into this pre-filming habit. So I've been doing this very little bit, but in case you've been following the vlogs, I have every other Wednesday off of work, and those days are the days where I pre-film like 5 videos. And I just started doing this a couple weeks ago. And it works amazingly well, honestly. I do end up editing later on, but I would like to get into the habit so that way I only have to worry about filming one day out over like the course of 2 weeks, basically, other than the vlogs. It really is so much nicer. It's so helpful for me personally to be able to get a lot of this stuff done and get a lot of it out and a lot of it pre-filmed and stuff, so that way I can concentrate on school, I can concentrate on other things that I want to do. But yeah, like today, this is the 3rd video I've filmed today, and it just works so well like this for me, at least. So those are my goals. I know this isn't everybody's favorite type of video, but I did want to go through and talk about some of the things that I do for Preptober and the things that I'm planning on doing next month, or this month, I guess, since it is already October. But it's important because this is my accountability for it as well. So I'm going to hang my little list of goals up on the wall. And now it's official. I am in October now. So yes, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, like, comment, subscribe. You know the drill. And until next time, stay safe, stay healthy, keep reading, and keep moving forward. Bye!